Hello friends, I am Chevee. Welcome to my shed. How are you today? How's things in your world? Hope everything is good. Everything here? Pretty darn nifty. Got to ride the bike a few times this week. Got to work in the shop some this week. I picked up all the plywood to start on the furniture projects. I got some of the parts I need to finish that project. Still waiting on the drawer slides, which I ordered from Amazon, and they were shipped to Ohio for some reason. So I'm still waiting for them to show up. But eventually they'll get here. And what else? Oh. I'm trying to buy a belt sander. I found a belt sander on Facebook. Like a handheld, but I have a belt sander. It's right there. But that's not a belt sander I can hold and sand something. When I do the joints for the tops of these desks and dressers, it's very, very difficult, even with a biscuit joiner, to get them aligned perfectly. The last time I did it was the headboard project, and I face glued those with some pocket holes to help hold them together. The problem with pocket holes is if you don't have enough tension, the screw likes to make the board slip a little as it starts to go in, and then you get raised, or and I had that problem with the headboard, and I had to plane it by hand, and all I have is like a tiny little block plane, like a $10 block plane. So that sucked. I would like to have a nice aggressive handheld belt sander, and I found a Sears Craftsman like 1950s belt sander on Facebook. It looks like it's in operating condition, but I'll probably recondition it and use it. And it's one of those things, like I don't often go on Facebook really at all, but when I do, it's because I'm checking on something in my daughter's soccer league, or I'm looking in the yard sale section, or I'm selling something in the yard sale section, and so I just happen to find these things, and it frustrates me because I'll message somebody, hey, will you take X amount of dollars for this? They were asking one price. I thought it was a little high. I said, will you take this? And they, the hard part about that is, for me, you can see, like, they read it, and then it's like a few hours later they say yes. And then I go, great, where can I meet you? And then they go, where are you from? And I go, Fairmont. And then they, read that. And then I tell them some more details about where I live, and they read that. And then hours later, I still haven't heard from them. So I was hoping to have that tonight. And once I get it, I'll show it to you, obviously. And maybe we'll do, I don't know, I've never done a tool restoration video. I watch Hand Tool Rescue. Maybe I'll do that. The other thing is, sorry, I'm kind of not with it right this second. It was kind of a big day at work. I got a new laptop, and I've been trying to get it set up and working, and been struggling with that. So, and then working on my girlfriend's car, and taking my dog to the groomer. So, the other thing was these little guys. I've shown you these guys before. This one I'm almost happy with. These are desktop meeples, like board game meeples that sit on your desk, and they can hold a pen. Super cute little design, and I've said 100 times I'm going to sell these, and I still haven't sold a single one. I've given one away. The person who gave me the idea for the design, I made one for him and gave it to him. And I like the idea. The problem is this little dude takes me about an hour to make, which means not including materials, not including anything else. If I pay myself $30 an hour, this guy's $30, and that's a little bit too much. And $30 an hour is, quite honestly, not very much, considering that the business isn't making anything. So I thought, well, the problem I have with these guys is these tight radiuses, tight little corners, getting in there cleanly without blowing it out and making it look terrible. Like this one is really close to good, except for this corner's got a step in it and it's blown out. And these corners up here by the heads, it just gets really rough. So I thought, well, I'll try to make a larger version. And the funny thing is, you know, if I can make this version, which is, I don't know, a couple inches bigger, easier to make, this could end up being cheaper than this guy. This is pine, this is solid maple, super good hardwood, and I'm really close. And I think this size is okay once the pen's in there. This isn't a bad size. In fact, it's probably honestly a little better than this original size. To have this size pen holder, I think, is a little more substantial. It's a little better. I'm so close to being happy with this. There is still some tear outs. I oriented this. No, I did the same on this one. Okay, I oriented the grain this way, so I don't have a bunch of end grain up here that I'm dealing with, and that seems to help quite a bit. The end grain is on these long sides, which is easy for me to handle. And my sander really helped clean these up, but I'm still at about an hour to make one of these, which means I have to sell this for $35 or $40, and I don't think anybody's going to pay that. That's where the problem that I'm having with this project is. I know that there are a few of you who have said, I really, really want one, and my current thought is I'm going to make those few of you one and just send it to you as a thank you to you, because I don't know that I'm going to be able to pull this off with my current setup on Etsy. My hope was my router and a templating bit and a pattern tracing bit, which is what I used to do a lot of this. This is the bit I used. It goes in these corners. My hope was I could get a near perfect finish with just a little bit of hand sanding. I could put some finish on this and sell it, but I don't. It's just not the case. There's burning in here. It gets this weird step in here because of the difference between that router bit and the original pattern bit. I just can't make them as the quality that I want. That's the problem. I mean, I could get this one to the 5-star standard that I want out of this product, but I would have to spend another half hour or longer, which means that now this is $45 or $50 or $60 or $70 for a piece of wood that's in the shape of a meeple. So this is one of those products that I would love to produce it for you. I would love to sell them, but I have to figure out a way to do it so that it's affordable, because I don't feel comfortable asking somebody to pay $40 for that. One way I could do it is with a CNC. If I had a CNC with a long end mill and I wasn't having to do this pattern tracing stuff, the CNC could cut this out pretty quick and I could do minimal cleanup. That's the problem, is the cleanup part. The cutting out part, I can do that faster than a CNC can do it. But what a CNC can do is it doesn't need this patterning bit to trace a template, and then it doesn't need to do that multiple times. It just goes in and cuts, and then you have a piece. So if I had a CNC, maybe I could sell these at a reasonable price. $20 or something is what I'm thinking a reasonable price is, but that's currently not an option. So I could put another half hour into this, but then we're selling a $70 piece of wood that's shaped like a meeple, and I don't feel comfortable asking that price. So let me know if you have any ideas. I appreciate hearing from you. I know a lot of you are smarter than I am at shop stuff. What I used was my templating setup. This is a 5/8 bushing, I think, or not 5/8, 5/16, with a 1/4 inch bit. Well, I don't know what the outer diameter is. Probably 3/8. I traced it with that, traced on the pattern with that. And then I switched over to, this is probably a, I don't know what size this is. This is probably a 3/8 or even bigger, which means that this bearing can't go into the tight radius that bushing can, and it causes me to have problems in these corners. So find me a solution. My current solution, I would like to have a 1/4 inch patterning bit. That means the shank and all, but I can't find one that is decent. That's all I have. thank you for being here as always. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, being amazing friends and wonderful people. I appreciate you, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Hey, Doc, wait! I want to ask you something.
Today's Random Fact comes from Britannica.com. What animal has the shortest gestation period? The shortest known gestation is that of the Virginian opossum, about 12 days. And the longest is that of the Indian elephant, 22 months.